Oh, okay. Looks like the internet it is working. Got a question. Was someone was wondering where did Rexon get the black cat he wore lately? He got that from a friend. The name escapes me, but yeah, he commented on that on yesterday's WeChat, where he got it from a friend that saw that he was kind of sweating a little bit because his head is kind of shaved, his short haircut, and so gave him a hat to wear. And so yeah, it looks like he'll probably be wearing a hat again off and on, depends on the day and the weather. Today was a little bit has been a little bit overcast, so he was fine this morning. So yeah, so that's where he got his hat. All right. Mike and the kids are saying that they enjoy our uniforms, shirts, and hats. Where would those be purchased? We actually don't really have uniforms ourselves at Wild Earth. Typically, the presenter should be usually is in khaki or at least a collar shirt. To be to kind of be professional looking. That's how the lodges around here like to have their guides in khaki and a nice looking uniform. So for us, we don't have official uniforms. We just typically wear a collar shirt, the presenters, and the camera operators try to dress kind of respectively as well. As for Rexon's hat, I'll have to ask him where he got that, but I'm sure you can just look around various stores. To where on my leave, where I actually went for a few days and got a chance on occasion to go to some markets or outside. I kept an eye out for another hat for Rexon, kind of like his old one, but not quite. But it looks like some of his friends already got him one, so that's great. That's before I started at Wild Earth. When I got hired on, I started looking at videos and saw Rexon with his hat, and yeah, it's great, and I think it's part of Rexon. So yeah, he'll probably be wearing this new hat a little bit more often. And yeah, I was kind of once again when I was showing the final control, I can show you that. Yep, we can actually control the watering hole cameras. So this one you can see. I'll just move around a little bit. So that I don't give you guys like the motion sickness, I guess some people have described it as. But yeah, and that was the tree that this camera is on, right here. Yeah, both watering hole cameras are attached to a tree, and it's kind of an old security camera type of setup. And then underneath the cameras, we have our the microphones. Yeah, let me just go back on the main one to this view. So we have two different views. And I just want to also make sure some of those that are in the chat room, I'm just making sure that I want to make sure that the audio is coming through fine for you guys. Otherwise, I've just been here chatting on the microphone to myself, which yeah, I can probably tend to do a lot, talk to myself. But it's great to talk with everybody, and just want to make sure everything's running smoothly. All right. Thank you, Caroline. That's great. And also, yeah, I want to remind some of you that I know that some of our viewers. Yep, just hold on a second. I'm going to turn off this back monitor. Some of our viewers kind of catch these chat shows just on the recordings that you post out there. And if you guys ever want to catch live, I know that there's a time zone difference, especially for some of our North American viewers, to where I know it's tough to be up really early in the morning or late at night, depends on how you look at it. So I've started a Saturday evening WeChat. Evening for here, I started at 8 p.m. Central African time, so I do believe that's 7 hours ahead of Eastern time now, because you guys did the daylight savings. So yeah, that would be roughly about 1 p.m. if I'm right on the Eastern Standard Time. And so yeah, that's just a way to hopefully get some more viewers in, more of you in here to be able to chat live and get some of your questions answered. So yeah, we'll be doing that from now on, Saturday evening, starting at 8 p.m. Central African time. I'll be doing another chat. And it looks like, speaking of chat, it looks like some people are coming in with questions. Thank you for that. Pete's braai went really well last night. We had some good wars and some braai brekkies, which are sandwiches. So yeah, it went really well, and I think we all just sat around, had a great little chat by the campfire before going off to bed. So it was a good day. It seemed like he enjoyed it. And yeah, and I'm sure he's looking forward to going back home for a little bit on his break. He'll be going on break next Tuesday, I believe it is, and we've gone for 2 weeks. And Sapiwi's also been gone. Sapiwi and Herman are on their leave right now, and they'll both be back on November 17th, I believe. All right, Mikey kids are wondering about the mixer or the actuator. If we're gonna kind of get new one soon because it tends to go into black and white. We do kind of have a new one. Like this here is our older one that we still use because it broadcasts color. Then underneath it is our switching desk. But yeah, we still need to use this one as for some reason doesn't with the lower switching desk the color doesn't come through, so that's why it's black and white. But with this option we're able to switch quickly to the vehicle again when this kind of goes down, so that you're still seeing a feed rather than a black picture, so you still get the game drive, and it just takes a few seconds to load back up, so we do apologize for that. But yeah, at some point hopefully we will get a new one, but right now we've got lots of other things in the works right now. All right. All right, Charlie noticed that Wonky and some of the other elephants have been rubbing up against the trees with their cameras on them, and has been wondering, do they ever damage the cameras? Actually, yeah, before, I think near the start of Wild Earth, a couple of years back, some of the elephants did kind of ended up ripping out some of the cables of the cameras, so they went down for a little bit, and I think they were curious about them more, but since then, we've created a system, I think, actually buried the cables a little bit and put them in boxes to keep the elephants away. And yeah, they can still rub up against the trees. Hopefully they don't decide to try and push down the trees at some point. That'll be an interesting thing. We'd have to figure out another plan, but so far they haven't. Just used it as a scratching post after they've had a great little mud bath. Oh, and there's actually some... Oops, wrong button. Some zebra coming down to take a drink at the watering hole. So come back here, kind of zoom in a little bit for everybody, and get back to the questions in just a second. All right. And it looks like some people can remember the elephant pulling out the cables on the watering hole cams. Yeah, it's been interesting to see that. And yeah, at some point we're going to try and rig up a camera in our kitchen because the monkeys have been getting smarter. Yesterday they figured out how to open up the window if it was just open a crack, and they ended up getting some of our bread and avocados and bananas. So yeah, they're starting to get a little bit smarter, and they're always interesting. So we're going to try and capture that on film at some point, or maybe even try to do that live. Oh, yep. Also, the baboons are another one that kind of cause problems at sometimes. I guess Caroline has mentioned that someone chewed on the wires at the start, and there's also a mast kind of by Yuri's house that is one of the main feeds, kind of is the big antenna, and the baboons tend to sleep up there sometimes. And earlier, when I first got here, there was some problems that they were messing around with the wires a little bit when they slept.